is born to a Gujarati stockbroking family, and she teaches you your powerful money lessons unlike any school. She started working in 2004 and looked after the treasury of her own family. By investing her own money, she played a dual role, an investment manager and her own client. This set her apart. While onboarding clients with assets under management growing, Jainy achieved many accolades. She has received more than 11 awards from top mutual funds, nominated by CNBC TV 18 for the top women advisors in the Northwestern zone in India, invited by ET Now and FB Live to share her views on investments. Jainy is the top mutual fund distributor in India. She manages more than 450 crores of assets under management. With a goal to educate, Jainy conducts investor awareness programs for industry bodies and charitable organizations. Jainy's client-centric approach is liked by investors who are looking for long-term wealth creation. This is Jainy for you, and I will hand it over to Roopa with just final observation. When I called up Jainy the first time to invite her to speak at the MasterStroke platform, she was having her coffee on a Monday afternoon. And this is what our profession looks like. If you work hard for 10, 15, 20 years, you have this luxury of having an independent life, doing a full taking full responsibility of the client's money that we manage. And apart from that, we have so much of freedom, of so much of time to sit in Bombay afternoon, a busy Monday afternoon, sipping coffee. And that is what inspired me, Jainy, and I'm trying to learn from you. And I will like now hand it over to Roopa.
Thank you, Brijesh. Thank you again. And welcome, Jainy. And it's been an honor to actually moderate today at this particular session. And it's been such an honor because in the last 2 decades, when I started, there were very few women in this practice. And I have been into so many events, but I was the only women MFD during the early years of my life. And today I can see many coming in, and you've been one of the most enterprising ones that I have met. I met you in quite a few events. So I like to start with, and you have had a remarkable journey, 18 years journey, and you come from a background of just broking that your parents and your family had. But what is that excited you to embark on this entrepreneurial journey? Because a lot of women have their families into the financial businesses and everything, but they don't take up this entrepreneurship. What made you embark this? So if you can share with our members here.
So Roopa, honestly, my beginning was never, when I finished my education or something, we were always growing up learning finance and money lessons. So for example, our breakfast and dinner talks used to be like, kitna chuta hai? Like, what was your return today? So we've always had that kind of conversations. And because of that, what happens is like your family and especially for me, my dad was my role model. So the passion with which he works and, the ethics that he has, he'll be in office at 9 a.m. no matter what. All that inspired me a lot. And even simple things, we were, usually exposed to finance. Like if we have to go buy a medicine, my dad will flip it and see that, okay, this company is good. Asha, this is fine. You can buy this medicine, company is cheap. So unknowingly, we were exposed to a lot of finance. Now, an important reason why I took up this entrepreneurship on my own was because I come from a very traditional Gujarati family. And I never needed to work for money, but it was my passion in finance. I loved studying. I loved the numbers. Though all my aptitude tests always said that, you should never do anything with numbers and anything in finance, you will not do well in your career. And my dad was like, just, don't worry, Jainy, just do whatever, your gut says. So I started taking a lot of risks in my initial years, formative years. So I said, okay, Dad, now let me come and join you and gain some experience. But there also he turned me down. He said that, listen, at office we have an all-male staff and I'm not really comfortable you joining. So that is when I realized that if I have to start something, if I want to work, I have to start something on my own. It won't be, with my family. But first I applied for my MBA. I wanted a solid educational background. So I went ahead and gave all the entrance exams and prepared for it. And I got a call for the interview. And when I told my parents about it and my family members, they flatly refused. They said, like, why do you want to do your MBA? So I live in a joint family with 15 people. And in those days, you can't really say no to them, you know. So I explained to them that, listen, it's my passion to study and it's my passion to do something for myself. So let's do one thing. So they were I tried to address their apprehension. They were concerned that I should be able to find a suitable Gujarati boy. And I was like, okay, fine. I understand where you guys come from. So let's do one thing. You guys find the boy for me. I will do my MBA and then we'll see how it goes. And that's how I was allowed to do an MBA and study for myself. And luckily for me, I got married in my second year. And life, the way it leads you, my husband's family luckily is more liberal. And they were okay with that, you come and join us and work with us. So I started working for them. And he has a manufacturing and exports business. He's second generation. And they make utensils for professional use. So I tried working there for a few months, but I didn't really enjoy the experience. I didn't, like the manufacturing part didn't click with me and I was not enjoying the work. So I started looking at his accounts department and his investment portfolio. And that's when I realized that, okay, this is something that I'm really liking, talking to people and managing it. So that's how I finally embarked upon, starting my business at the age of 23.
That's wonderful. That's wonderful. So now going forward, let me ask you, saying that how did you plan your business future? Because you are a successful woman today. You manage 450 crores worth of AUM. And how did you actually plan your business future?
So once I knew that, I want to manage money for people, I initially didn't make any real long-term business plans. I basically just loved talking to people, had a fair bit of understanding of how products work, and I was still learning the game and understanding the industry. But I had a turning point when I became a mother. So I had two kids. And when I looked at them, I was like, I don't want to just be a mother. I don't want them to know me as just their mother. I want to be a role model for them. I want to demonstrate to them that, you should always challenge yourself and dream the boldest dream. And if you put your heart and mind into anything, you can achieve whatever you have dreamt for. So I first challenged myself there. And I decided that I wanted to build my own business. But it's not going to be any ordinary business where, you work 9 to 5 and come back. I wanted to build something different, which was me, which was resonating with me a lot. So what I did is, instead of having very long-term goals, I built my business around 3 or 4 short-term everyday goals, which I wanted to achieve for myself. So one of them being, I always wanted to prioritize and be there for my kids. Being a full-time mother and working is always not easy. So I realized that unless I don't have a good team of people working for me, I will never be able to have the flexibility of time. So very much in the initial years, I hired more people at work than I actually needed. What this did is that even though I took home much less in terms of money, I had a lot of flexibility to choose how I spend my time with my kids. So that was very liberating. The second one was that I was very sure I wanted to enjoy my work. I am not the kind of person who can take everyday stress. And that's why what I did is that I chose my clients wisely. I did not say yes to everybody who walked in and said that, okay, manage my money. I've actually turned down clients with unrealistic expectations, who say that, Jen, you know what, I'll give you this money right now if you give me a 25% return. And I've actually turned them down. I'm like, this is not me. Or a client who, would speak badly to my staff. I've actually called him up and told him that, sir, I don't think we can work together. So I wanted to work with good quality people, not just at a transactional level or from a business perspective, but I'm the kind of person who builds a bond with people. And over time, this builds trust. Now, and this is a very valuable thing in our business. So though I grew slowly, but I was working with great quality people. And that made sure that, I enjoy everyday work in my line of business. Another thing which I very well knew about myself is that I like doing simple things. I had a goal that I don't want to complicate and, give fancy products and all that stuff. That's not me. I like to do simple things well and deliver it consistently. So I know what value I bring to the table for my clients. I'm always there for them. I pick up their phones. or when they want to meet me, I want to answer all their questions. I simplify things for them, or just, sometimes just calm their fears. I listen to them carefully. What I've realized is that in my experience, um, most clients don't want complicated things. They just want you to show up as a reliable person and do simple things consistently over a long term. So that's exactly what I had decided that I'm going to do with my business in the future. Because we are managing such an important part of their life, we better be there as a reliable and responsible person. And the final thing that I always was sure about was I wanted to earn only enough money. I didn't have goals that I wanted, like, an X amount of money with me, nothing like that. I was very sure that I'm very happy with a certain minimum amount of threshold. And once that is achieved, everything else is luxury. If it comes, it's good. If it doesn't, it's fine. So I didn't want to just mindlessly chase money and lose my priorities. So I'm a very satisfied person in that department, and I'm very happy and content with my financial well-being. So these were the basic 3 or 4 goals in mind, how I planned my business around it.
So that's a beautiful journey, and you explain saying that you choose your clients and you slowly build this exercise, because again, that's what basically translates saying that this event saying that you cannot grow overnight. It takes 15, 18 years to grow. Unless and until your clients don't make wealth, you will not be able to make that wealth for yourself. Also, as you rightly said, you in the last 18 years, you've had 2 beautiful kids, a home to manage, and you have managed your professional and personal life absolutely beautifully, as you explained. Now, I really want to ask you one more question. I think this will look very feminist, but I definitely want to ask you because there are a lot of women in this call that they are listening to you. Being a woman in a man's world, because finance is a man's world, was there an impediment to your growth that you ever found?
So, on a lighter note, I think in a man's world, a woman stands out more easily. So, I think the opposite. I take this as an opportunity that if you and I were to walk into a room, Roopa, we'll surely turn heads around. We are easy to get noticed. So I take this as an opportunity in my perspective. But yeah, I've had my fair share of challenges, and not everybody thinks like I do. So I remember this incident distinctly when I was following up with this client for a few months, and I was really kind of hoping that he'd start his journey with me. So one day when we were on a call, he asked me, how many children do you have? How many kids do you have? And I said, I have 2 kids. And he asked me their ages, and we finished our conversation. He put the phone down. After a few hours, he messaged me saying that, Jainy, me and my wife, we don't think that you'll be able to handle a portfolio because you need to, you won't have the time to spend from your kids, and you'll be busy and all that stuff. So at first, I was shocked that did he really say that? And I was a little devastated that time when I first read that message. A few moments later, I realized that my kids are my strength, and the kind of work I do, I enjoy, doing justice to it. So it's very important to me. So I messaged him back saying that, if there's anybody who should be eligible to handle your money, it should be a person like me who can multitask, who can manage things very well. I've already a proven track record of managing home, family, kids, and kind of taking care of my work. And since I'm doing this for 18 years, it's not that I've built this business overnight. I've been doing these things consistently. So I'm a better manager than any male counterpart put around. So you should, in fact, give the opportunity to me. And so that's, I think, that boldness actually helped me onboard him. And he did say yes to me eventually. But yeah, I've had my fair share of challenges, but never been put down by that. I keep doing what I have to do.
So exactly what you brought across is so important, saying that you need to have that conviction to call back the client and talk about it very openly, saying that what you can do and what you cannot do, which I think most of us miss over a period of time, saying that what you can do, what you cannot do. Choose your clients to choose, saying that you are on the same wavelength to set your businesses apart. One of the questions that I would ask you is saying that today we have so many people here. What is your advice to all of them, saying that what is that one thing, 2 things that you really need to be a successful entrepreneur or a mutual fund distributor?
See, I always feel that if you are managing a lot of things, or even if you want to do your one work right, you need to have a wonderful team. I really believe in that, that having a good team is the best way to achieve excellence. Hire people, pay them well, and motivate them enough that, you don't have to be worried about how to do everyday things. You're out of that part and you're focusing on the macros. For me personally, it has been a very big learning curve that unless I don't have a great team, I'm not going to get a lot of work done. And that stress of, kind of managing day-to-day mundane things is not something that I'm willing to spend my energy on. I wanted to outsource that. And another thing that I think would really kind of, be a success mantra is don't listen to everything, all the noise around you. Listen to your heart, listen to your gut. Sometimes that really kind of, takes you to the next level. If you really want to do something, like I said to that client, stand your ground, voice your opinion, and, somewhere you'll click with the right client and you'll, vibe at a very different level.
Jenny, as you said about the team, could you just share about how big is your team and how do you plan your onboarding process of your clients, or how do you take it forward for your clients?
So I have my team in 2 locations, based out of Villeparle and Marol. And what we do is that we usually have only referrals coming in. So whenever a client onboards, the first thing that we usually do is we try to understand why is the client, want to manage his money. Because of COVID, recently a lot of clients have come just to consolidate their portfolios. In the COVID times, they've realized that the portfolio is like too spread out and they don't have any idea about how the entire thing looks like a macro perspective. So a lot of client families have different goals about their money. Some just want to consolidate, some want to, plan well for their retirement or whatever goals they have. What we do basically is we just kind of, understand what they need. And as per that, then we kind of guide them that, this is usually the best practice. And we don't initially start, telling them to invest as long as they're comfortable with us. So we have 2-3 meetings to understand how they are. And once, like I said, even my perspective matches them, if I feel that, I can really help this client family, that's when I start onboarding them and getting them into our mainstream plan.
So how big is your team?
So my team is around 9 people, and we sit in 2 different locations.
So you have your team is there, you have a back office, you have a research team.
So I have a back office team. I have a research team, which I'm, ever expanding, because we do all our research in-house. All the mutual fund schemes are filtered every month across 17 parameters. And that gives us a lot of conviction and helps us identify industry trends very early on. So we do this in-house and not borrow the research or buy the research, because we always feel that, doing your own independent research can get the numbers right, can get your perspective right. So yes, our research team is a very important integral part of our, it's a backbone.
So my last question to you would be saying that how do you see India and how do you see your business growing in the next 2 or 3 decades?
I think India is a fantastic destination to be. There's never a better time to be in India than now. I had a few friends come down from the US, UK and Canada recently. And they've been there for, say, the last 10, 15, 20 years also. What they've realized is that now they want to, or they're even open to the option of coming back and settling in India. That was the biggest confidence booster for me, that yes, India is, doing well on all fronts. When you want to come back to your home country, the pay scales are good, the education level is good, systems and opportunities, job opportunities are fantastic here. So while you're working in the US, you're always having a very, very difficult lifestyle. You don't really enjoy yourself. You don't have time for socializing and all. While in India, a lot of things, the moment you are earning decently well, a lot of things are taken care of. You can work hard and still have a fantastic lifestyle. So my friends always tease me, that don't tell me which movies you went for, because in the last 10 years, we've not gone for any movie. We don't have anywhere to put our kids. So so their life is all about cooking and cleaning, and my life is all about working and enjoying the rest of my free time. So it's a big change. the way business is growing now, I'm seeing there's a lot of dynamism that's built in. It's changing very fast, and if we don't adapt to it, we'll probably lose out. So even in terms of global investments, which started a while back, I had to really put in that extra time and effort to understand the global markets. So this thing is going to keep happening. There will be new asset classes like cryptos. So we were inside internally in our team, we were trying to understand how cryptocurrencies work, and we wanted to sign up for a course and understand it and probably dabble in it ourselves. But luckily we didn't do that. Our CA advised us against it. So we have to keep learning and upgrading ourselves. And honestly, this the opportunity in the Indian market and even overseas now. We have a lot of overseas clients who want an India portfolio or want us to manage their money. It's an endless opportunity. It's just how you tap them and how you deliver on your promises.
So thank you so much, Jenny, for your absolute insightful journey and the 18 years journey. And it's been so much of a learning, saying that the your conviction, your confidence, your processes, which has brought you to this level. And thank you so much for sharing with all of us on this call. Thank you for sharing with all the MFDs here. Brijesh, I leave it to
Thank you
you.
so much, Jainy. And I was patiently listening to Jainy, and I want to tell you this, Jainy, that okay, first of all, let me ask you this. You said one should aspire to become a role model. Who is your role model?
My dad.
My dad.
Has
All right.
always been and is always there. Yeah, he's still, even at this age, goes to office on time. I mean, whether he's well, unwell, he'll be there. And you can't, like, I don't remember calling him up ever before the market hours are shut. Like before 4 p.m., I've never called him up. So his work ethics is like very strict, very disciplinarian.
And my final question to you: you said that you started not with the idea of making money, just enough money, and then you were passionate about this. Having reached this stage where you are in the top 100, 200 distributors in the country, what's next?
So the next thing is philanthropy. I have a family diagnostic center. It's a charitable one, and that's why I want to make sure that I'm not just always chasing clients and money. I want to remove time, and I have a vertical where we advise charitable trusts and organizations for free. So that I feel they need a lot of advice with their money management. They sit on huge treasuries, and usually which is very poorly managed, either in a bank FD or something. So we always feel that a lot can be done there. And that's my way of doing charity and giving back to the society, because I specialize in this field. And yeah, so for me, the next thing is to kind of go and join the committee and take the reins of managing the charitable organization.
That was wonderful, and I hope one day I will get an invite from you when I'm in Bombay to have a cup of coffee with you and
Anytime.
a wonderful afternoon. And one reason I had you, Jainy, and for the audience, I want to say this: you will have a few people you have never met, may not have known, because when I came to know about Jainy, and I spoke to a few people when I was researching about the speakers, and I got very high praise for Jainy. And so I called up and checked that would you like to become a speaker at the platform, and I wanted to have a few new faces who can inspire the audience, mutual fund distributor, that here are a few people you don't know about much, but they are making headlines in their own way in the industry. And so one way to grow in life is that just do your job, just do your job silently, and people will pick you up at the right time. And MasterStroke did, and we did pick you up. That you are one of the finest in the country, and all the very best to you, Jen.
Thank you so much, Brijesh, for this opportunity.
Thank you so much, Roopa. Again to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.